Hi guys, it's Billy Himsworth here from Sighty Barbering. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to do a textured skin fade quiff. I like to start with the top to create the shape of the head. I've been cutting Zico's hair for quite a while now and I know he has a high skin fade and I like to keep the edges nice and tight and sharp. So I'll find the side parting for the contour of the head. So I'm creating tension for the head, following my guideline. So I'm going to start my sections working back to front. I'm going to section it in 3 panels and I'm going to leave the fringe till last. And I'm point cutting to create the texture. So when he styles it in the morning, it's already rough and ready to go. Especially for this haircut, textured quiff. You want as much texture as possible. And I'm following all my guidelines I've created from the back. And also, we'll be adding texture when it's dry as well. I'm connecting the top to the same section on the contours. And the same again, following it with the fringe. I like to have my fringe a bit longer as well. So when I come to it, it's just a tad longer as it's going through the back to the front. When I've taken out some bulk, added some texture in there, I like to add a bit of our grooming clay when it's wet and hair dry it into position. That will create the hold and the style. I think hair drying is one of the most important things for styling your hair in the morning. I have a lot of people say, oh, you've done it really good in the chair, and when it comes to it, they can't recreate it. Always ask them, do you hair dry? And a lot of them say no, so I think it's always good to start a hair dryer because then you're creating what I've cut, if that makes any sense. So you put it into the shape of what I've cut it into. Hair drying is definitely a lot easier than using a towel or something like that because you're not putting it into shape. When it's dry, the product looks a lot better as well. I'll style it all at the end because there's still a few more things I like to add to the top when it's dry. I might add a little bit more texture in there. I'm now going to go on to my skin fade. Normally I would start with number 2, but Zico's hair is quite short anyway, so I can see where I've added my square layer. But I will start with a high skin fade. Putting in my guideline, following it all the way around. I know he doesn't have it dipped or nothing. Now that I've followed my guideline all the way around, make sure it's level on both sides. I'm then going to go in my foil shaver to make it extra skin. And I'd like to follow it just below the guideline I've put in. I find sometimes if you go up to the line, it can be a bit hard to get the skin line out. I like to use a fade brush. Take all the excess hair off because sometimes you might think, oh, it's a bit of a dark patch, I keep fading, but really it's just loose hair. So when I start, I like to start in 3 sections again. I like to do this because I like to concentrate on each side of the head. Always start 0.5 open, and I'm just going to flick it out about finger width apart. I'm going to start. I'm just going to flick it out at the top Sometimes you go in, you're just going to create more lines. So when you get to the top, make sure you flick out. Now all I've got is my 0 line. So I go down to 0, and same again, I'm just flicking it out. Flicking it out. Right on the line, don't go any higher because you're just going to create any more lines. Also use the corners. I like to use the corners quite a bit. It's so much easier to fade. It takes the darker patches out as well. So as you can tell, it's slightly faded there. There's still a skin line I like to take out of my details. I'll do that at the end. But with the 0.5, and in between, it's like a 0.25. Just slightly way above, you just created a tiny another little line where it's left. Keep brushing down. Same again, flick out on it, just gently. See, a lot of people go in with a fade and they go very aggressive with it, but you don't need to. You just need to flick it out, trust the process. Keep flicking out on the line because it will go. Also, it's about comfort of your customer as well. I see people holding heads, see people getting really aggressive with it. You don't really need to. So I will be going to 1.5. Just before again, finger width apart, keep flicking out. It's a 1.5 guard as well, guys, so it's not a 1 open. I will come down with my 1. Make sure your section is clean again. And I'm just flicking it out, same with the 0. With the 1, I'm just gonna slightly flick it out on the line. I just like to concentrate on this side because you get a nice shade as well. Sometimes you can go a bit higher if you're following it all the way around. I want my shade here on my corner, so when I do shape him up, it look very sharp. Now, same with when I did the 0, there was a little 0.25 line in there. So that's going to be my 0.5 there. But I like to flick up. I'll open my 1 now. And just below my 1.5, I'm going to just flick it out. Same again, not going any higher. It's just a tiny little darker patch. But I'm just working in between the guards. I want to get this little skin line out I've created with the foils. Like I said, I've left myself a tiny bit of gap just so I find it easier to get it out, because sometimes you can go in a bit harsh and you can spend quite a long time trying to get it out. So same again, just get my detailers and just flicking it out gently on the line, not going any higher onto the fade I've created. Sometimes flipping it up and upside down does help. Just on the line there. Now, once my fade's completed, I want to create the square shape. So I'm going to go in with number 3. And this time, instead of flicking into it, I'm just going to go 90 degrees up. That's going to create the square layer for me. And keep kind of like the harsh edge, which I kind of want to create with this haircut. So I'm just gently going to go up, removing the bulk as well, and creating the blend. My square layer, and as you can see, it's just slowly blending into the top. I'll keep my edges at the same time. Same again, I like to look in the mirror while I'm creating my square shape. Always check. Have a little look, and that's how I know it's coming along nicely. Before I even got to cut hair, I had to learn scissor over comb. Without it, you can't really finish a haircut. It's all right doing a banging skin fade or anything like that, but this is your bread and butter. Now the fade's complete and blended it in with my scissor over comb. I'm gonna quick look at the top. I'm just gonna add a little more texture through here. So what I like to do is I just like to flatten my hair down. I'm just going through the thing. This is quite advanced, so any beginners I probably wouldn't say to do this. But just remove a little bulk very lightly through the head. You can use thinning scissors as well, but I'm not really a big fan, especially like a weekly customer. I just feel like it damages your hair too much. What you could also do, I won't be doing this today because my client's quite regular and he doesn't need any more length taken out, but you can also pick it up while it's dry and chip into it a little bit as well. That will create texture. Just a few techniques. Now with my edges, I like to pull the pull. Take in and pull instead of going in and push. I'm not going into the hairline. It's not going to be loads of stubble when it grows back. Obviously there was a rough outline already. I probably cut Zico's hair about a week ago. So I'm now going to shape up the corners with the cutthroat. I like to keep you've got to pull the skin really tight, create the tension. For me, edges can makes a haircut. If you haven't got sharp edges, it doesn't stand out as much, personally. You might have noticed that his beard's been done nice and sharp, but there will be a beard tutorial video coming soon, so watch out for that. But with the hair, I feel like I'm pretty much there. Just want to finish it off with some powder. I like to use powder, gives it a natural finish, gives it the texture and boost I need, especially for this kind of haircut. Make sure your hair's dry when you're using powder, guys, because if not, then don't get the same look. As you can see, guys, the powder has left it with a nice natural finish. You can add a bit of hairspray if you like to give it a little bit of shine, but I prefer really not to. It depends what you're using it for. Depends on the client's personal preference as well. And there you have it, guys. This is my textured skin fade quiff. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.